Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador for FENIX360, and I'm joined today by the musical theater performer, Matt Donzella. Matt, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, John, how are you? How are you?
I'm great. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you being with me, man. Hey, listen, can we tune in to some of the performance that you have up on your YouTube channel? I'd love to share some of that with our audience.
Absolutely. That sounds
All
great.
right, cool. Then, everybody, let's tune into some of the performing work of the artist, Matt Donzella.
Safe with someone who won't fall apart, someone single, not too dull or smart, but safe, decently, honestly safe. Where I find that someone, I don't care, just as long as I can wind up there somewhere, somewhere, somewhere.
Hey, Matt, nice work, man. Great to share it with
Great.
everybody. And I would love to hear, if you would please, where are you from? And tell me a little bit about the highlights of your journey in being an artist.
Absolutely. I grew up in Monmouth County, New Jersey, which is pretty central to Jersey, about a town over from where Bruce Springsteen was born and raised. Pretty awesome area, a lot of arts over there. And my journey as an artist sort of started a little later into life. I didn't start doing theater when I was, 5 or 6. I actually started when I was around 16.
Okay.
A lot of what got me into it was my high school choir teacher, and she really influenced me. Her name's Regina McGowan. She really influenced me and pushed me onto a path of, singing and loving music. And I went out for Grease when I was 16.
I
I
love
did a
it.
production of Grease, and I sort of got bit by the theater bug there. And yeah, I would say from there on, I sort of really immersed myself into a lot of choral work, a lot of theater work as a young adult. And then when I was looking at colleges, I really decided to dive headfirst and go into a musical theater Bachelor of the Fine Arts program. And
Oh,
I auditioned for colleges. I got in at the University of the Arts in Philadelphia.
sweet.
Yeah, and I went in there. I did a musical theater program there for 4 years, with a graduation in 2020, which was May 2020. We did actually the clip that you saw earlier is from my senior showcase in March of 2020, and we did that March 9th, about 3 days before the pandemic sort of
Kind of
shut everything down.
right.
So
Glad you got it under the wire there. You know what I mean?
yeah, we got right in, and then we had to do the end of theater. We had to do the end of our school online, which was a little difficult and challenging, especially for performing artists and artists of any kind doing theater and classes online. Was a little difficult, but we made it through. And then I made the move over to New York after I graduated, and I've sort of been sending in a lot of self-tape videos. I picked up the guitar in August of 2020 and started learning guitar and working on a little bit of songwriting in addition to musical theater performance.
Love it.
And yeah,
It's great that you're wearing some hats. I love how your story begins in a way how you were inspired by Regina, your teacher, who saw in you, this spark of creativity and drew it out, as an inspirator and set you off into the world now of art and all this different expression. It's really cool. Your Grease performance back in school as well. Were you Danny, the main guy? Were you Kaniki, or who are you?
I was I was actually I was Johnny Casino,
Oh,
the
cool.
in the band, the lead
Hey.
band at the high school dance. And yeah, I mean, it was a great first introduction to theater, and I got to watch the other more experienced actors work and learn from them as well.
Right. And listen, it sounds like you've had a great education. You really dedicated yourself to your art. And let me ask this question, Matt. Were there other performers or artists, either in film or TV or live performances, that you felt were inspiring to you, that you were like, oh man, I could see myself in that, in that position. I want to do that. I'm just wondering what kind of artist you love. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I would say when I was first really getting into it, my big inspiration, I think I stayed home sick from school one day, and I put Rent on the TV, the movie directed by Chris Columbus. And that was my first introduction to Rent, and that musical sort of moved me in a lot of ways, and my spirit felt really moved by that piece, and sort of seeing that anybody could be a part of theater in that way, and that it was a beautiful, colorful, diverse, contemporary story that really, gripped me as a person. And I would say a big inspiration to me is Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent. And I would say, other than that, that was my big inspiration in the theater world, and I've kind of clung to that everywhere I go. I sort of feel like I bring that peace and that spirit with me. I would say other artists that have been a huge inspiration to me, especially in the later years, I've just been totally immersed in Paul McCartney and his work, and all of his work, from the Beatles to into Wings, into his solo work. That new Beatles documentary, Get Back, came out, and just watching his process as a songwriter and a guitarist and a vocalist, and how he works and how he leads the ship in a way. And that documentary was really inspiring to watch, I would say. And then I would say I've got some film actors I love. Andrew Garfield and everything that guy does, and sort of that everything starts with the story and the character, and everything that he does, whether it's in a huge blockbuster movie or a small biopic, everything is emotionally driven, character driven. And I love that. I would also say my dad's a huge inspiration to me. He was a guitarist, in his younger years, and he was in a lot of bands playing guitar, and he was the one that introduced me to the Beatles and Bruce Springsteen, and his guitar playing, having that around as a kid really inspired me to keep music as a part of my life wherever I go.
No question about it. I love hearing about it. It's great that your dad was the guitarist and, helped. Now you're playing with the guitar and like creating and writing songs. It's really a beautiful legacy. And listen, keep up your work in the acting. I love to hear the background, kind of, New York City behind you. You're right where it's happening. So you're going to be collaborating with all these really cool other creative hearts and minds. So we will look forward to following your progress, Matt. I want everyone to tune in to Matt Donzella's social media channels. You can find them right below our interview today. And we're also going to be looking forward to you coming up on FENIX360. So Matt, thanks for joining me, man. I really appreciate you.
Thanks so much, John. This seems like an amazing app that's coming out, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Yeah, we're going to be
great.
glad.
Thanks for your generosity.
We're going to be glad to be featuring you on it. Thanks, Matt. All right, everyone, take good care. We'll see you on FENIX360.
I left the party because I felt like everything I wanted was outside the party out here. There's a breeze out here, and the moon. Look at the way the moon is. And I knew you were outside somewhere too, so I came out and sat on the steps here and thought maybe you'd come and I'd be here outside the party on the steps in the moonlight, and those other people, the ones at the party, wouldn't be here. But the night would be. And you and me would be talking outside the party at night on the steps in the moonlight. And I could tell you how I feel. I don't know, I was looking out the window at the party, and I had some wine, and I was looking out the window at the moon, and I thought of you, and I could feel my heart breaking. I felt that wine and the moon and your face all pushing in my heart, so I left, and I came out here, and I came out here looking for the moon. And I saw that street light. Beautiful. I never knew a streetlight could be beautiful. I always thought of them as cold and blue, you know? But this one's warm. And yellow, and it shines through the leaves of that tree, and the leaves are so green. Oh, Mary, I love you.